Passion Rage Out Legends, welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, hey, especially if you're going through something out there and you need it. Today is a follow-up video from the last video that I released where I talked about a kind of closed door but really open door, because here I am telling you guys conversation that we had with with Plarium, excuse me, this morning. So the developers, a bunch of representatives got on a call with us, kind of walked us through some of the community pain points, as well as where is the stuff that we were promised months ago, which I covered in my first video in case you missed it, talking about instant Hydra battles and background battles, all that stuff. More context there to each of those features as well for you guys. But I did promise kind of some hints as to what we can expect here roadmap-wise in 2025 from the Raid team. I want to start with a few pain points, right? They seemed like really open-minded for the very first time, frankly. This is like the third or fourth time we've had these conversations, a few creators with the actual devs and the game designers, and they seemed more open than they ever have to actually taking a look at Minotaur's Labyrinth, right? Like, they flat out were like, you know, why? Why is this so important to the community? That's what they asked us, right? And my answer was, well, you've gone through every other dungeon, you know, from the keeps to everything else, and you've added more efficient ways for players to go in there and farm vis-a-vis super raids, extra stages of difficulty. You know, you guys are familiar with all the changes that they've made, but you haven't done anything to Minnow. So let me throw the question back at you guys. If it's so important to the community to have extra levels, a little bit more effective in time savings, right? But the energy is going to be the same anyway, so you guys will still get what you want, Plarium, right? Why not? Why not? And they said and I actually believed them. They said that they'll take a long, hard look at it and really discuss some solutions within the team. So, you know, I know most of you, rightfully so, will be super skeptical about that, but I'm just reporting the news here, reporting the news. They also talked about, you know, kind of the resources in the game, you know, from new players all the way to mid-game, all the way to end-game, silver issues and stuff like that. They really want to take a fresh approach and spend Q1 in terms of transitioning to what's coming. They want to spend Q1, kind of the first half of the year, Q1 and Q2, kind of focusing on building what they have, or building better solutions to what they have. Going in there, revisiting everything, even they talked at length about Hydra. The Hydra changes, they showed us on the back end what the results have been, and overall the results say that the participation and the active rewards have been like pretty solid after the changes. But there is something to be said from every comment that I read from you guys, and what I experienced myself, it doesn't feel as fun, frankly. It doesn't feel as fun, right? They threw out the proverbial baby with the bath water there, and in terms of nerfing Trunda and Yumeko, and they did say that they're not done with Hydra, and they are taking and understand the community sentiment around Hydra right now. Instant battles are coming, but I'm talking about like something as simple as decapitating a head and unloading your damage, your DPS on that decapitated head, right? So they are taking a look at Hydra again. They're going to continue to look at Chimera. They said something interesting on the call. They said that Demon Lure Clan Boss is like the easiest difficulty of Clan Boss. Then Chimera is kind of meant to be the second most difficult. And then Hydra's meant to be the most difficult in terms of the complexity. And you can understand that as well. They said overall the numbers look really good in terms of engagement in Chimera. What do you guys think about Chimera Clan Boss? Okay, my biggest complaint on Chimera personally is the time that goes into it. Like, I feel like I'm on a school deadline back in my high school days or college days where I'm procrastinating, and at the end of the week, I'm looking at all my keys I still need to do, and I'm like, oh man, I guess I know what I'm doing this Wednesday night, you know? So same thing with, you know, a lot of the things in the game, that speaks to the necessity to make some things easier on us time-wise, some of the older content in the game, like, you know, the Doom Tower, you know, bosses. They didn't seem keen on adding instant battles to the Doom Tower bosses, but they will be applicable to the background battles, so we can farm them while we go through our gear and our champion builds and all that other stuff, right? So more on that a little bit on the previous video that I did. So again, what else is coming in the first half of the year, you know, give or take, right? Everything's subject to change, obviously, but they have a big rework or addition maybe to Faction Wars coming to the game, right? They said that It's working like a full-scale revamp. They seemed really enthusiastic about this one. They said, you guys will all love it, to us, the creators. It will be a fun and a changing approach. They want to improve the bosses in Faction Wars. I was unclear if it was going to be like Faction Wars Nightmare Mode, if it was going to be Faction Wars like 2.0, or what it will look like. You know, how important will the Unity, you know, champions be? They said they'll be great, but they're not going to be essential to the game mode. But they did said again, changing the entire approach. I'm referencing my notes here. Changing the entire approach, majorly improving the bosses, plural, and then improving the rewards in a big way as well. So Faction Wars 2.0 coming to the game soon-ish. A bunch of all other quality of life stuff. Sorry. Leaderboards everywhere is what they aim to do. So I take that to mean everywhere in PvE, everywhere in PvP, leaderboards being added to the game. It sounds something like super small, and I'm sure 90% of you guys don't care, but I really love it. I love the competitive spirit. I know it's just kind of like a little bit of a whale, you know, barometer to it. Is like I'm realistic about it. But even like tag team, you know, new leaderboards coming to, hey, USMC, he's one of my clanmates. What's up, USMC? Even tag team is going to have leaderboards and stuff like that. They did say, they kind of had a sigh when we asked them about Tag Team Arena. They're like, oh God, Tag Team Arena. So they knew it's far from where it ought to be, it needs to be. But they said they're taking a lot of like long, hard looks. They even said they were kind of experimenting a little bit. We could add restrictions to Tag Team Arena. They added all these layers of complexity to Tag Team Arena. And then they asked themselves at the end of the day, does this really fundamentally fix this broken game mode? And they came back to the answer, no, it doesn't. So they kind of threw it all out and they kind of started from scratch, and they're still evaluating what they need to do to fix Tag Team Arena, to keep the spirit of Tag Team Arena. But at the same time, it's just like you're just going Classic Arena 3 times in a row. Like it takes forever, right? It's not that enticing or engaging or anything. They will be adding leaderboards. They're also going to be adding, they're going to be testing the Classic Arena and all the arena reset times. I don't know why they haven't done that forever, basically, ever. But they will be for us Americans here, or, you know, really anybody out there. We will actually have a chance to maybe not have to play at 4 a.m. or whatever the heck time it is, you know, 1 a.m. to finish high in arena. Leaderboards, test Classic, Minnow, take a look, a long look. Hey, they want to get somewhere where you can get to the point, in this game, where you can sell and upgrade artifacts anywhere in the game. Man, that's such a small little quality of life thing, but I freaking love it, right? So TBD on the timing there, but I'm talking like you can upgrade, you forge stuff, you can upgrade right there in the forge, right? You get something in your inbox, right? What do I have here? Do I have anything good? All right, I have a ring here. You click on it, you can upgrade it right there and trash it right there. That's what they want to eventually get to, the point where that's possible everywhere you see an artifact and accessory. At the end of a dungeon run, for example, you can right there upgrade and sell it. Choose what you want to do with it. That's awesome. It will really alleviate the necessity to have these massive, daunting, sometimes cleanses in the game, right? All right. What about the end of the year? So I asked them straight up on the call, guys, what about something big? Do you have anything big planned for us? And they said, indeed they do. Now, if you guys will recall, if you're longtime viewers or whatever, before Curse City came out, I asked them about Curse City, and I said, how big are we talking here in terms of this update, on a very similar call? And they said, well, it's going to be a hell of a lot bigger than Doom Tower. And man, that was my title of the video. Bigger than Doom Tower coming to the game. And honestly, I don't think it was bigger than Doom Tower. You know, even if you add up all the 101 stages on both difficulties, well, Doom Tower has 120 floors and a hell of a lot more bosses, right? So I say all that to say that I think they were reticent to say it was bigger than anything they've done before, but they did say bigger than anything we've done. I don't want to make the same mistake we did with Doom Tower, but it's huge. So listen, I'm rocking like nothing to tell you guys about this. And I warned you in the last video too that I have nothing tangible here. All I know is they already have plans and it's already in development. And that is the back half of the year, all the way in December forecast. Their big December 2025 update is going to be a huge new feature to the game. So we're talking something like a Cursed City or a Doom Tower, something on that scale or larger coming to the game at the end of the year. Last but not least, Clan Siege. They seemed like to think higher of the Clan Siege than I frankly do right now. I'll be real with you guys. They seem pretty happy with the game mode, but not satisfied with the game mode, if that makes sense. They recognize they have a long way to go in terms of optimization and improvement to Clan Siege, but they think that the infrastructure is there, that they can build on it, right? And I guess I can kind of see that, right? There is some hope to this game mode personally. I just like anything kind of competitive that we have to work together as a clan in this game, like inherently as a player, like it appeals to me. But what about you guys? What do you think? Does your clan even care about Clan Siege? I really haven't had a lot of feedback, honestly, with you guys, right? I put out a video like this and I get the quality of life requests from you guys all the time. But in terms of diving into a game mode, especially Clan Siege, I really don't get the feedback from you guys to really, then pass that on in conversations like this to Plarium. Apologies if you have given it and I missed it, but what do you and what do your clan think of Clan Siege right now? I don't hate it, but I feel like there's a lot of just things that, everything from the UI. I would love to see live battles and spectate and make a big show of it with my clanmates when I'm in when someone's going in. I want to root for them, right? I mean, even tiny little things like if somebody has a victory in the Clan Siege, ping the chat about it, right? Let the clan chat know. Let us celebrate, right? It's supposed to bring your clan together, make it a little bit more fun, right? Also, it'd be cool to have a battle report that gives a little bit more info. I want to see how all my clanmates are doing, and they do have the ranking section, right? And you can go by the current siege and by defense and attack victories and stuff like that. But I kind of want to be able to click on them and see all their results. And I want to see a real-time battle thing, kind of like Clash of Clans back in the day. So I want to fix the UI, and then I want to fix all the areas of exploitation that are available, right? Should you upgrade or should you not? Because the system wasn't really, I don't know, it feels like the design in terms of all the ways you can take advantage and play it the way it's not intended to be it just missed the mark. So anyway, they plan on going in and, making steady improvements to Clan Siege. So that's all I have for you guys. It's not a ton, but it does give you a little bit of a barometer as to where Raid is heading. I'm also going to go ahead and throw out an interview request. So if you guys have any questions or follow-ups to any of the info that I dropped on you guys, we'll see if they're willing to come on the channel, because I think it'd be awesome for you guys to hear from one of these game designers as well. I don't know if they're comfortable coming on, but I will extend the invitation, and I know that you guys will have some great questions that I didn't think of asking as well to Plarium. So guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.